What's up, guys? It's Radio DJs React. I'm Tyler. This is Bo.
What's up?
We're about to react to the new one that was released this morning from Joyner Lucas. It's Devil's Work 2. And I'm going to be critical on this one because I love the original Devil's Work on his ADHD album. I don't know if you've heard that one.
I have not heard that one. And I do like Joyner.
Yeah.
When I run across something he's done, I try to listen to it, but I have not heard of this.
But the original Devil's Work was essentially a prayer to God saying, why are you taking these good people? And he starts referencing, name-dropping people. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, like, why are you taking Malcolm X and not taking R. Kelly? Mm-hmm. Why are you, taking Tupac and Biggie and not Suge? You know what I mean? Can we trade places with these people? And it was a really it was a really good relatable thing because he kept being humble before the Lord when he was doing this prayer, saying, "Look, I'm not trying to offend you. I need answers. I want to know." He was being very. I would say he was being very respectful in a manner, but still spitting.
Okay, that's one thing I give Joyner. Like
he can, one of the best.
That man can go. He can spit.
So we like Joyner Lucas. I'm gonna be a little critical in this song because sequels often aren't as good as the original, and this is Devil's Work 2. So I'm assuming that this is going to be kind of related to that song.
Similar. Okay, yeah.
So I think it's going to be related.
And I'm coming into it without hearing the first one, so this is going to be a whole new concept for me, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got to say.
All right, Joyner Lucas, Devil's Work 2. Here we go.
Guess we gotta try this again.
Dear
Lord, I know that we've been here before. It's been a long time, I hope that you don't slam the door. I try to walk away, but there's some shit I can't ignore. I could be wrong, but seems like you don't even care no more. Cause since our last talk, you ain't playing fair no more. And when I pray, it kinda feel like you ain't there no more. I still don't understand why niggas who deserve it dies living, but the ones who ain't deserve it isn't here no more.
All right, so he's kind of going with the same theme, and that's good. I appreciate that because that's what made the first one so good. Mm-hmm. So I was hoping that he was going to go the same route, and he is.
I'm looking forward to seeing some of the name drops and stuff like that.
If he does do some
I can't say that I want to wish death on anybody.
Yeah.
But
he's naming some pretty egregious people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You ain't playing fair no more. And when I pray, it kinda feel like you ain't there no more. I still don't understand why niggas who deserve it dies living, but the ones who ain't deserve it isn't here no more. And no, I don't want no one else to die. Instead of trading souls, I got something else in mind. There's a lot of moments that I wish that I could change. I could fix a lot of pain if you help me out this time. Maybe we can undo all the damage, press rewind. Reset the clock and make it so some niggas never die. Or maybe fix all the mistakes of those that's still alive and give them all a second try. Erase that Will Smith slap and turn them back around. Or wait till they get backstage so they can have it out. Or maybe make it so that Chris chose a different joke, a different topic, something Jada won't be mad about. Matter of fact, let's talk about this shit.
I think he's a big Will supporter too. Cause
he got that song Will Smith.
Yeah.
And I was a big fan of that song.
That song was dope.
It was, and then with Will on it, I thought it was.
I wasn't
really
a big
good.
fan of Will doing the second version of it. I liked his original, but it was cool.
I thought it was really good, and it brought me back to when J. Cole. I don't know if you have heard of.
I've never heard J. Cole.
Oh God,
yeah, we're gonna have to start listening.
J. Cole is one of my. He's right up there with Joyner when it comes to lyricism, subject matter. Just he goes in, and he's one of those guys that's just natural. Like he does get flashy sometimes lyrically, but when it comes to going out and stuff like that, you're not going to see him wearing a million chains and all that.
You
stuff.
need guys like that.
But anyway, he did a song called "Let Nas Down." On his Born Sinner album. That was one of the last albums I actually listened to all the way through or whatever. And he did a song called Let Nas Down because Nas was his favorite rapper. And he talked about in the song when his one of his singles came out, he thought yes, this is the one that's going to get it. This is the one that's going to get me there. And then his producer was like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. Nas heard it. And he was like, you're better than that. And so he did this whole song called Let Nas Down.
Yeah.
And then Nas came back and did one called Made Nas Proud.
Ah.
And he's like, no, young brother, I dig you.
It
wasn't a bad, I wasn't trying to down you. I was trying to let you know that I just know you're better. Anyway, that was kind of the feel that I got with the Joyner and Will thing.
Yeah.
But it's funny that this comes up because we just did that video, the other day of Chris Rock and talking about this stuff.
His new stand-up special, yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of see the direction he's going with this.
So he's not saying he's wishing death. He wants to change things how it happened.
Situations and how they went down.
So from the first one of the original Devil's Work, he was pretty much saying take these people instead of this one. Now he's kind of switched it up, and it's more reflective. Like, maybe I was wrong, Lord. Maybe I was saying that you should kill these people instead of these people, and that put a lot of weight on him or something.
And it brought him some growth, and it brought him some clarity of how he should pray about things next time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's awesome.
I wait till they get backstage so they can have it out. And maybe make it so that Chris chose a different joke, a different topic, something Jada won't be mad about. Matter of fact, let's talk about this shit I'm sad about. When Pop Smoke accidentally leaked that address out. Lord, you know the streets crazy, how you drive the ball. When you know niggas keep a target on these rappers now. And give us Kobe Bryant back, we a mess without him. Take back the day he ever stepped inside the helicopter. Make him take the car instead and forget the chopper. Maybe take a different route or get a different driver. Can't believe you took his daughter and she left behind her. It's kinda hard to see the positive and that's the problem. I know you don't make mistakes, but I was hoping you'll erase that bullshit so his family won't be left without him. And I wish I could fly to Russia on a different mission and make him pay for putting Brittany Griner in the prison. Or maybe you could bring her back to February 17th and you could take the CBD so she ain't flying with it. Maybe change that 9 years and give her 9 minutes. Or better yet, change the laws so they can stop tripping. I know that's a lot to wish and it ain't my business, but until you grant my wish, I ain't gonna stop wishing. But Lord, listen, this shit irking me.
I like it so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's hitting some
topical stuff.
Yeah, some topical things that were really big in the news.
That Kobe death. He's right though, man. Hit the nail on the head, especially with his daughter with them. And
yeah, man. And he's
a good man. That I know there were some allegations previously in his career, but like as a competitor, as an intelligent black man, he was a joy to listen to and watch play.
His daughter and the other girls from her team, that was a huge loss for a lot of people that day. And so bringing that back up, and I love that he is, because as someone who I consider myself still to be Christian, so to speak, I don't really go to church all the time, and I don't really read the Bible and stuff, but I still have a relationship with God, and I talk to God myself.
Right.
And, I think the way he's approaching this is, I feel like a lot of people that are religious have gone through this. Like, I've got these questions, God, and I'm trying to understand you. I'm trying to figure out why these things happen.
Because it doesn't make sense to you.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense, and I think that's what made the first one so beautiful, and he's carrying it on with the second one with a little bit of growth in the process.
Yeah.
And it's right. I mean, because you were like, okay, I'll believe in God if these things happen, or these kind of I guess conditional love statements. You know what I mean? Like, if you do this, then I will do this.
Yeah.
Let's keep this song going.
Let's keep the song going.
Change the laws so they can stop tripping. I know that's a lot to wish.
I think that's what he's talking about. They changed the laws so they can stop tripping in Russia.
17th, and you can take the CBD so she ain't flying with it. Or maybe change that 9 years and give her 9 minutes. Or better yet, change the laws so they can stop tripping. I know that's a lot to wish and it ain't my business, but until you grant my wish, I ain't gonna stop wishing. But Lord, listen, this shit irking me. How you take P&B, that shit absurd to me. So many questions about that shit and it's disturbing me. The niggas can't eat waffles without security. The niggas can't work hard and go buy some jewelry. That one hurt to see. And by the end of the song, they gon' try to murder me. And if they do, I hope my fans take it personally. I know you hear me talking, Lord, don't be curving me. Won't you take us back to Kylie Jenner's party? Before them shots hit the floor, before the bullets ricochet and leave it dripping more. We don't know the truth or if we misinformed, but either way, take it back and make Tory hop inside a different car. Broke my heart.
Tory Lanez?
I hit the car. Feel like that nigga.
I don't know the reference to the party.
I'm assuming whatever happened with him and Megan Thee Stallion must have come from Kylie Jenner's party.
Yeah, that's the daughter, isn't it? The young one.
Kylie is one of the younger sisters of the Kardashians. I can't stand that whole family. But actually, no. Let me not lie. Kim Kardashian, cannot stand her. I thought she was talentless, if I'm being real. But I've got to say that her work with prison reform and trying to work with nonviolent offenders and get them out and get them help and stuff. All I got to give her all the credit in the world for that.
She's done some good stuff.
She even helped a guy that I know personally.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't say we're like big, huge friends, but somebody that I've known personally that in my younger days, I used to see him all the time and stuff like that. And he was one of the people that she actually helped to get out, get him some help, get back to life. And so I know we keep going off subject with this one, but anyway,
it's all this stuff is topical.
Yeah,
though.
it is. But yes, I got to give Kim Kardashian credit on that. And I'm assuming from what he's saying here, I'm assuming that the whole gunshot thing with Tory and Meghan must have happened after a Kylie Jenner party.
Gotcha.
Is what it sounds like.
All right,
because I feel like if it was something else about the party, he would have went deeper.
Right.
And not switch subjects so quickly.
Maybe he'll explain a little bit later in this bar here.
Take us back to Kylie Jenner's party. Before them shots hit the floor. Before the bullets ricochet and leave it dripping more. We don't know the truth or if we misinformed. But either way, take it back and make Tory hop inside a different car. Broke my heart when DMX died, I hit the call. Feel like that nigga was an angel in a different form. Might have had a drug problem like he did before. But he was fighting demons and I know that that's a different war. You must got a major ego. I ain't trying to disrespect and trying to play the hero. But when you took Takeoff, you took my favorite Migos. Look, I don't know how that makes sense, because it makes zero.
Man, he's challenging God here, it seems.
Yeah, it
You
is.
got a massive ego. Ooh.
I mean, but there are people, not saying I'm one of these people, but I hear people speak of this. There are people that feel that way, that are like, well, if God's supposed to love you unconditionally, then why are there all these conditionings? Why do we have the 10 Commandments? So it sounds like he's coming from that kind of perspective.
Yeah.
With that line.
Like, and to piggyback off the last Devil's work as well, he was kind of going, hey, these people have followed everything that you say, but you're taking the people that have followed it, but you're not taking the people that haven't followed it. You know what I mean? Like, thou shalt not kill. There's people that are killers here that you have not taken out. And Nipsey Hussle, like, why are you taking him and you're not taking this drug guy, Martin Shkreli or whatever his name was mentioned in the song, and that was the guy that did the diabetes medication, and he like upcharged it like 100 million %.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
He even mentioned people like that, so he's well in tune with what's going on in the world.
Real.
So I definitely appreciate that from him.
You took Takeoff, you took my favorite Migos. Look, I don't know how that makes sense, because it makes zero. The fucking wrong place, wrong time, that ain't G-Do. Took that man right in his prime, that's playing Evo. When Tiny Luster died, I cried and played CeeLo. Cause I can't even watch Friday without saying Debo. You know this shit got me stressed, right? Staring at the Bible, trying to figure out who's next. Like, why you take the ones who ain't deserve it, see what death like? Meanwhile, 6ix9ine free, living his best life. Go back to the day that he took the stand and confessed, right? Tape his mouth shut so he never
You got something to say about that?
Yeah, I do actually. I love that bar because... Listen, I am not a street dude. I grew up in the hood. I consider myself, if I had to put myself a label on in that terminology, I would call myself a hood dude, but not a street dude, right? But I understand the street lifestyle, and 6ix9ine put himself in the position to be where he was, right? He claimed to be this hood dude. He claimed to be the street dude. He was big blood and the gangster and all that kind of stuff, and then you get caught up in some stuff, and now you snitching on everybody around you. That was weak to me, and so I feel where he's coming from on that. Like, because this 6ix9ine dude went and started stuff with all these people, but then he's always got security with him to back him up.
So he's almost like a poser.
Yeah, he's a poser like a mug, dude. Okay. So I dig what he's coming from with that. Like, if
I didn't know that part. Yeah.
If you're going to live that lifestyle, now don't get me wrong, the whole snitching argument, I think it means different things for different people. And if you're talking about, somebody's uncle that has nothing to do with anything, and he saw you kill his nephew and he tells on you, I don't feel like that's the same thing.
You're right.
But if you are actively a part of the criminal lifestyle and then you get caught and start bringing in other people's names, that's snitching. And 6ix9ine did that all day. And I hated his music. I don't like his persona. I don't like anything about
his
that
persona.
asshole. He's...
Why you take the ones who ain't deserve it, see what death like? Meanwhile, 6ix9ine free, living his best life. Go back to the day that he took the stand and confessed, right? Tape his mouth shut so he never talked to the feds, like make him do his time so his niggas gotta do less, right? Make him learn from Bobby so he can know what respect like. Lord forgive me for my language and these bad words. But
so let me give you a reference on that.
Okay.
He said make him learn from Bobby. Bobby Shmurda, I think is how you pronounce it. He had a really hot song and he was, he was blowing up. And when he got arrested and his friends got arrested, if I got this story right, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, instead of taking like some kind of deal or doing what 6ix9ine did and telling on all his homies,
right, we'll commute your sentence kind of thing.
He actually took more time on his end,
right,
so that the time that his homeboys took would lessen, so they would be like on an even playing field. You know what I mean? So I don't know the exact numbers, but let's just say that he was offered, oh, well, if you tell us this stuff, then you'll only get 2 years and they'll get 10. Right. And he's like, nah. And they're like, okay, well, if you don't say anything, you're all going to get 5. And he's like, cool, I'll give you my 5.
Yeah.
And so that's what he was referring to as a comparison to the 6ix9ine thing.
Yeah. So he's basically the antithesis of what 6ix9ine is what
Bobby Shmurda. And when he got out, he was like celebrated big time.
Oh, I bet, because he has integrity.
Yeah.
He didn't rat his boys out.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to live that lifestyle, you have to live it to the fullest or don't live it at all.
Right.
He lived it to the fullest, and people respected that when he got out.
Like, Lord forgive me for my language and these bad words. But that Candace Owens bitch get on my last nerve. You gon' tell me that what we witnessed on TV was a murder when we watch niggas turn his ass into Casper. George died from asphyxiation, and that's a factor. Fentanyl or not, he'd have never died in his last words. While I cannot breathe, so really she gotta chill. Or maybe they should trade places so she can see how I feel.
I like that he
who's she? Who's he talking about?
I don't know the she.
Comparing to George Floyd.
I'm not sure about the she. I will have to think about that. But I wanted to say,
did we miss something?
I don't know.
Maybe we have to go back a few seconds or something.
Maybe so. I'll do that. But I like the fact that he put the fentanyl into while he's talking about George Floyd, because that was always the rebuttal, I guess, was like, it's saying, okay, well, he was on drugs, and did he have a criminal record? Yes. Was he high on drugs? Yes. However, it doesn't change the fact that the dude's knee was on his neck for what, 15 minutes or something like that? Something ridiculous?
Insane. And it's crazy how much.
If you want equal rights, that's equal rights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And this video is going to probably be a little bit longer than usual, you guys.
Well, it's topical.
It's topical, yes. This song is so good because it's bringing all these different pop culture topics back up, bringing them into one place,
into his prayer,
into this prayer that he's sending to God. So man,
let's see if we can catch that.
Yeah, because I know he's saying something about some woman.
Yeah,
in the George Floyd thing.
I'm trying to
maybe Candace Owens. I bet you he was talking about Candace Owens.
To the feds, like make him do his time so his niggas gotta do less, right? Make him learn from Bobby so he can know what respect like.
Bobby.
Lord forgive me for my language and these bad words.
No, he hasn't.
But that Candace Owens bitch get on my last nerve.
Wait.
Oh, he did say Candace Owens.
Oh shit.
Lord forgive me for my language and these bad words. But that Candace Owens bitch get on my last nerve. How you
He doesn't in the last Devil's work, he didn't like which I don't like her either, Tommy Lauren. And gosh, I'm trying to think of the other political radio lady, Laura Ingraham. And Laura Ingraham is see you next Tuesday.
I've heard the first name that you said.
Tommy Lauren's more of a social media
Tommy
person.
Lauren. Oh yeah, that's the blonde chick.
The blonde hair chick. She's
such a bitch.
Yeah.
But I'm not as familiar with that the second name.
The second one. Gosh, what was her name? I just freaking said it too. Anyways, she's more
Laura Ingraham.
Laura Ingraham, thank you. She's more of somebody that I don't respect. Like Tommy, I could probably kind of like if I were to pick the lesser of the Eagles,
at least she puts out there who she is.
Yeah,
give her that for sure.
And Laura was doing some she was laughing at some death shit and she's a broadcaster.
Yeah.
But anyways, so
he is talking about Candace Owens.
Let's go back and listen to this. So he goes from George Floyd, fentanyl. Maybe she was saying he was.
No, I think he's starting with he went from the 6ix9ine thing to, and then he said sorry for my curse words or something, but that Candace Owens bitch gets on my last nerve.
But then
he goes into the George Floyd.
He says a pronoun after that. That's a she. So I'm assuming he's still talking about her,
yeah,
along with the George Floyd. So maybe he has.
Maybe he's talking about her opinion.
Yes.
On George.
Yes.
Floyd.
That's where I was getting at.
Niggas gotta do less, right? Make him learn from Bobby so he can know what respect like. Lord, forgive me for my language and these bad words. But that Candace Owens bitch get on my last nerve. How you gonna tell me that what we witnessed on TV was a murder when we watch niggas turn his ass into Casper? George died from asphyxiation and that's a factor. Fentanyl or not, he'd have never died in his last words. Well, I cannot breathe, so really she gotta chill. Or maybe they should trade places so she can see how I feel. Little bitch got me stressed, God. Probably not prepared for what I'm asking next, God. Bring your mama back, cause he a mess, God. And he ain't been the same ever since Donda West died. Yeah, that's the day Kanye West died. First his heart, then his mind, then
said that's the day that Kanye West died?
Yeah.
Bring your mama back, cause he a mess, God. And he ain't been the same ever since
Yeah, this gave me chills right here.
Yeah, that's the day Kanye West died. First his heart, then his mind, then the rest died. And if your bank account is overkill, your soul could be broken still. Even the rich spirit money can't buy. I pray that heavens watch me. Rest in peace, Biz Marquis, you got peace. Young Dolph, King Von, Drake in your top 3. Black Rob, Troubles, Virgil and Shock G. Pat Stay, K Slay, and Fred the God G. She almost took Lil TJ, but I'm happy he got lead. Lord, you even took Black Panther, that's not G. And when Sidhu Musabala got shot, that shot me. Begging for your guidance on this ghetto earth. Frustrated, trying to understand how heaven works. I'm just hoping you can pull a couple strings and redo a couple things so maybe we can get a second turn. You took juice from us that forever hurts.
Juice WRLD?
Putting the blame on you that it never worked. I know this ain't your fault, it's the devil's work.
Yeah. That's how he ended the other one.
Devil's work.
Yeah.
That Kanye thing,
hold on 1 second. Say it again.
That Kanye thing, I feel him on that, man, because it just feels like it feels like, and it seems like Kanye really started to go off the deep end after the death of his mother.
100%.
And
he was a mama's boy.
My mother is still, thankfully, thank God she's alive and well. And so I don't know what that feeling is like, so to speak. I know what it's like to lose a very close family member that means something to you, but not that particular family member.
Right.
But man, it just seems like that was the beginning of a downhill, spiral. And I will say that I think every now and again, Kanye throws something out there that is a glimpse of a little bit of reality, and it's he's not as crazy as people think he is.
Well, but I think a lot of it's spun too in a certain way. You know how media works. We can edit things, make it look different. You know what I mean? But he's said some stuff on his own accord.
Yes, he has. Absolutely. And I definitely think that if his mom was still around, there would have been a lot of chances for her to maybe pull him aside and talk to him about stuff. And then I do like how he ended it with just naming a lot. No, it wasn't, hey, trade this person for this person. It's just, dang, I hate that we lost this list of people.
Right. I think the last one he was doing the trading, and he was naming a lot of people, and it was black and white. It wasn't just white people. It wasn't just black people. So, I mean, he's recognizing right from wrong. Yeah. What these people are doing, and he's also looking at the commandments. He's believing in his God, and he's saying, I'm following you here.
I need some clarity.
I need some clarity here. All right, let's rate this thing 1 through 10. We've talked long enough.
We've talked a really long time. We apologize, guys, for the length of this video, but it brought up some really good topics that maybe we can spend some more time talking about later.
I think so.
In detail. But if I'm going to rate this one, man, this one's going to be up there, man, because I love how topical it was. The beat didn't have to be like crazy and just something like it, because that wasn't the focus of the song.
It really wasn't.
It was a really good beat, and it fit the topics that he was bringing up. I love how I didn't hear the first song, but from your description of the first song
was better.
It sounds like there was a lot of growth in his mentality.
For sure.
And his thought processes between that first song and this one, and he's like apologizing to God for like, hey man, I might have been tripping a little bit last time.
Right.
I'm still tripping some, but I get how I came off last time or whatever.
I like how he naturally gets angrier too as the song goes on. He's like, hey, because it's very relatable. Like, look, God, I'm not trying to be this, but why? Okay. And then you start cussing and you're like, oh gosh, I gotta calm myself down. And then he goes back up.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go 8.3.
That's a nice score.
I'm gonna go 8.3. I think it was really good.
I would give that score to the first original song because the first original song is dope. I'm gonna have to play that for you.
Yeah,
when
we're off
at some point. And the first one is near and dear to my heart. That whole ADHD album was just phenomenal. So because of that, but it's still good. I like the progress he's made in the lyrics and a lot of topical stuff. And it was more of a devil's work for 2023. So I'm still gonna go high on it though. I'm still gonna go. Let's go 7.9. 7.9. I mean, Joyner is he's just so good. Like
he is. He's
his
really
cadence
good.
is perfect. I mean, he doesn't do the same song every single time.
God,
that's really good.
So appreciate him for that.
Yeah, I mean, he really mixes it up, and
he stands out. Like that's what I was talking about. You know, with rap nowadays, is so many rappers. Yeah. And I know, you know, we when we talked about NF and we kind of compared the whole white rapper thing.
Yeah,
that is not just in the white rapper world. That is rap as a whole.
As a whole.
A lot of the black artists, I do
that with rock.
I can't tell who's who.
Yeah, I do that with rock too.
Yeah,
and country. You know,
it is. It's just it's so many of them sound the same.
Yeah,
I remember in the 90s and early 2000s, if you put a rap song on, you knew who you were listening to. You know that's T.I. You know that's Lil Wayne. You know that's Jeezy. Whereas now, 7 cars could ride by me playing 7 different songs, and if it's not one of those, you know, type of guys, they all sound exactly like to me. And Joyner is not like that, and I enjoy that about him. Yeah,
I mean, the best example is Tupac. You hear Tupac, you hear that Martin Luther King type delivery because he had that type of delivery, like a black preacher.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
for sure.
And you're like, and no one else
sounded like that. Yeah.
No one else would do that type of cadence. I don't think anyone's ever done it since, to be honest. I'm not that well versed.
And then there's probably artists that we're not super familiar with that somebody could name. They could be like, oh, well, you know, this guy was like that. But.
Yeah, and if you have recommendations, please put them in the comments. We're Radio DJs React. I'm Tyler. This is Mo. Indeed. Please like and subscribe.
Again, apologies for how long this video was, but a lot of those topical things, you know, came up throughout the song, which was a good part of why we enjoy the song.
Yeah, so. Joyner, you did it again, man, and I'm excited to hear this new record. If you're putting out a new record, so this was phenomenal and totally relatable.
Agreed.